up in my Intro to Admin series, we're going to go through the change log and monitoring field setup. So this is really helpful when people are finding that data is changing in their system and they want to analyze and get to the root cause. So back in Kronos here, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to my change log. So the change log allows me to monitor when things have been inserted, deleted, or modified, but it just writes into a log entry that I would then go and look for later or write reports off of. It doesn't email or notify anybody, which is the main difference between monitoring fields in the change log setup. So first we'll go through change logs and then we'll show you how to beef that up a little bit and send some emails if that's required. So I'm in the change log setup, and the first thing you would have to do is activate it to turn it on. Now you are warned that it can slow things down. So if you start turning on for too many fields and too many tables, obviously that's more entries that are going to be written to the log. It uses more capacity. It can slow things down. So it's just warning you to be cognizant of that. So you can say, okay. And then under setup, you can indicate and interact with any of the tables in the environment. So this is not limited to just out of the box fields. If you have ISVs that are set up in here, if you've got custom tables, you would be able to see them all. I'm going to indicate my purchase line. I'm going to say that I've got a scenario where my unit cost is changing. I'm not sure why. So what I've done now is I've indicated on the purchase line, I'm going to modify some fields because again, too many fields, too many entries slow things down. And then what I can do is I can use the lookup here to be able to identify which fields I want to log. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to indicate that I want to track on maybe just my unit and my direct unit cost. So I can obviously do this on more if I want to. I could indicate I want to log some things, but maybe not modifications. So you choose. But I've gone ahead now and I've indicated that I would like to start monitoring these. And then I can go ahead and close the page. So what this is letting me know is that it's only going to start logging the entries after people have rebooted their session. So I can reboot mine now if I want. But all this means is that if I make a change to the unit cost, it's going to track that. Most users, it'll take effect the next day because they've logged out and they come back in. So that's your first thing that you want to do is make sure that you're setting up the change log and activating it. What we're going to do is we're going to look at your change log entries. So again, I'm back into Kronos. I can go ahead and go now into my change log entries. Presumably this has been a couple of days or a couple of weeks. Now, in this table, you're going to see that it's going to be a little bit hard to read in the beginning. It takes a minute, but your primary field is typically the table. So this is table 39 that I'm tracking, and then I've got the primary key field 2. This is typically going to be the field that I'm tracking. So these were my unit cost and my direct unit cost fields. So here I can see that this was activated. And then just so that we had some entries, I actually made a change here on this purchase order. So I can see here that it's logging the date, which user made the change. I can see here the table caption, so I can see that it was on the purchase line. I can see which PO they updated. I can see the fields that were updated, and here I can see what the value was prior to the change. So I can see that it was a unit cost of 15. And now it's a unit cost of 25. So typically what people do is they turn on the changelog entries based on the request of the users. Again, they turn it on for periods of time to be able to analyze, who's making changes so that they can go and ask questions. Maybe there's a retraining opportunity, or maybe they're incorrectly using it just because they aren't sure. So what you typically do is you turn it on, but then using your filtering, I can add things where maybe I want to filter just on my purchase line. Maybe I want to filter on a specific key. And then what I can do is I can just save some views so that I can quickly get to the data that I want. And of course, you've got all kinds of opportunities with things like Power BI. So here I could do purchase line unit cost update. I'd probably want to filter on that as well. But now when I first log in, I would see all the entries, but I could quickly jump into the entries that I care about specific for my view. And then another user, maybe they've got a view that's looking at posting group updates on the item card or whatever is relevant for them. Fields, again, the key difference with that is it gives you the ability to be able to see everything in one worksheet that you're monitoring, and it also gives you the ability to notify and set up email. So jumping back in, we're going to go to the monitor field worksheet. So you'll notice that as soon as I create the entries in the changelog, they automatically create in the monitor fields worksheet. And the thing that's really nice about this is it gives me that overall snapshot of everything that I'm logging. And then you'll notice here, you can have, when things change, you can have it notify a specific user. So I can set that for notification. I can clear notifications. If I do want to be notified, I can use my field monitoring setup so that I can indicate who's going to be notified when that change happens. So in this case, I'm going to put Jen because she's the administrator in my area. You can indicate her email, and then I can start. And again, we're just letting you know that this can impact performance. So the more that you're monitoring, the more automation, it's absolutely fantastic. But at the same time, we just want to make sure that we're doing it in areas that actually make sense and obviously not inundating our inbox with a bunch of stuff as well. So you can indicate on the field monitoring worksheet which tables and which fields you want to monitor. And then using the field monitoring setup, you can indicate who is getting notified. And then here, similar to what we had on the changelog entry, we have the field change entries. So again, this just lets me have a log of some of the things that have been changing inside of my system there so that I can go back and then again talk to the appropriate people. Any questions on this feature, any of the features inside of Business Central, please contact us using the contact information or follow us on YouTube.